Good day, everyone. How are you? I hope all of you are doing fine. For this morning, we will talk about job interview questions, answers, and tips to prepare. In this lesson, you can learn how to answer job interview questions in English. Have you ever had a job interview in English? If English is not your first language, answering job interview questions in English can add stress to the experience. However, there are some simple, effective tips you can use to give better answers to job interview questions in clear natural English. You will learn about these tips during this lesson. First tips for job interview is to prepare for the interview. You don't need to memorize an answer, but do take the time to consider how you will respond. The more you prepare, the more confident you will feel during a job interview. In this lesson, you will see common interview questions and few different techniques you can use. You will see how to answer these common job interview questions using the techniques I'll show you. Let's start with the questions about you, like tell me about yourself. What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? What makes you unique? What is your greatest accomplishment? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
What is your salary expectation?
And why should we hire you? Interviewers will ask questions about you to gain insight into your personality and to determine whether you're a fit for both the job and the company. These are open-ended questions which will give you the opportunity to show the employer that you're well qualified for the position. Let's discuss first the question, tell me about yourself. How to answer the question, tell me about yourself in an interview. Although it might be tempting to share a list of your most compelling qualifications for the job, a more low-key approach will probably help you to develop a personal rapport with your interviewer. One option for your response is to share some of your personal interests which don't relate directly to your career. Examples might include a hobby that you are passionate about, like quilting, astronomy, playing chess, choral singing, playing golf, skiing, tennis, or antiquing. Another is about your interests like long-distance running or yoga that help to represent your health. Energetic side are worth mentioning. Pursuits like being an avid reader or solving crossword puzzles or brain teasers will help you to showcase your intellectual learning. Pursuits like being an avid reader or solving crossword puzzles or brain teasers will help to showcase your intellectual learning. Volunteer work will demonstrate the seriousness of your character and commitment to the welfare of your community. Interactive roles like PTA volunteer, museum tour guide, fundraiser, or chair of a social club will show your comfort with engaging others. Remember, as with tell me something about yourself that's not on your resume, one of the goals of this question is to get to know you a little bit beyond your career and own the job attitude and experience. Use the present, past, future formula. If it feels daunting to generate an answer from scratch, you can rely on a simple formula to construct your answer. The present, past, future formula is a way to share key background points while ending on a high note. Present. Begin with a brief overview of where you are now, which include your current job along with a reference to a personal hobby or passion. past. Reference how you got to where you are. Here you could mention education or an important experience such as a past job, internship, or volunteer experience. And the future. Finish by touching on a goal for the future. Example answer for the question tell me about yourself is this. When I'm not working, I like to spend time exploring with my dogs. I take them hiking, visiting historical sites, or even just walking around town. A surprising number of people are drawn to dogs, and I always enjoy talking with who I met. I feel the communication is one of the most important aspects of my professional life as well. When talking with people, being able to guide the conversation in a particular direction is one of the ways I have been successful in different situations at the office. Now let's discuss the second question. What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest strength? May seem like one of the easier job interview questions you'll be asked. But for many candidates, it can be tricky. Either they are too modest in their response, or they don't highlight those strengths that most closely match the job requirements. What the interviewers really wants to know. The main reason interviewers ask this question is to identify whether your strengths align with the needs of the company and the job responsibilities. The company wants to learn whether you're a good fit for the role you're interviewing for. The goal of the interviewer is to make a match between your credentials and the skills needed to succeed in the job. Your response will help the employer decide whether or not you are the strongest applicant for the position. That means if you're applying for an accounting job, it's not helpful to highlight that your strength lies in event organization. When you are asked questions about your strengths, discuss attributes that will best qualify you for the specific job and set you apart from the other candidates. It is important to show that the interviewer that you have the qualities the employer is seeking. There are certain strengths that all employers seek in the candidates they hire. Others will be specific to the job and the company. So how to answer this question? What is your greatest strength? How should you answer questions about your strengths? The best way to respond is to describe the skills and experience you have that directly correlate with the job you are applying for. Be prepared to answer by making a list of the criteria mentioned in the job posting and then list your skills that match those that the employer is seeking. This list can include education or training, soft skills, hard skills, or past work experiences. Narrow down your list of skills to 3 to 5 particularly strong skills. Next to each skill, note an example of how you have applied that strength in the past. This will prepare you for when the employer asks you to elaborate on a particular strength, and you'll be able to share examples with the interviewer. When you answer, you will be sharing strengths that match the qualifications the company is seeking. Also, incorporate into your response these power words which help to make a good impressions. The more closely your skills match the stated job requirements, the more likely you will be to get a job offer. Example answers for the question, what is your greatest strength? You can say, I have a solid work ethic. When I'm working on a project, I don't just want to meet deadlines. Rather, I prefer to complete the project well ahead of schedule. Last year, I even earned a bonus for completing my 3 most recent reports 1 week ahead of time. Another good answer is you can say, I have extremely strong writing skills, having worked as a copy editor for 5 years. I have a deep attention to detail when it comes to my writing. I have also written for a variety of publications, so I know how to shape my writing style to fit the task and audience. As a marketing assistant, I will be able to write and edit press releases effectively and to update web content with accuracy and ease. Okay. Then, let's proceed to the third question. What is your greatest weakness? So the second is about strength, then the third is weakness. So what's the best way to talk about weaknesses at job interviews? Talking about things that you don't excel at can be tricky when you're interviewing for a new job. When you're asked about weaknesses, it's important to respond carefully. You don't want to cast any doubt in your ability to do the job. Show that you are aware of your weaknesses. Describe what you have done to overcome it. Don't you dare answer that you have no weaknesses. Make the weakness seem like a positive trait. Don't highlight a weakness that is a core competency of the job. What the employer wants to know why they're asking this question. So when you're asked about your weaknesses, the employer wants to know whether you are qualified to do the job. The hiring manager is also looking for indicators that show you have been able to learn new tasks and handle new challenges. So, this question is an opportunity to show that you have got the right assets for the job. So, how can we answer this question? What is your greatest weakness? There are several different ways to answer when you're asked during a job interview what your greatest weakness is. You can mention skills that aren't critical for the job. Discuss skills you have improved on or turn a negative into a positive. Even though the question is about weaknesses, your answer should always be framed around the positive aspects of your skills and abilities as an employee. Discuss non-essential skills. One approach to answering this question is to analyze the key skills and strengths required for the position you are interviewing for and then come up with an honest shortcoming that is not essential for success in that job. For example, if you are applying for a nursing job, you might share that you are not particularly adept at conducting group presentations. In this case, it would be critical to underscore your strength in one-on-one communication with patients while providing an example of your difficulty with presentations to large groups. Likewise, if you are applying for a position as a writer, you could focus on a skill that isn't required for the job, as in the example. Numbers have not always been a strong suit. Fortunately, as a copywriter, I can focus most of my time on the creative process of writing. However, in recent years, I have begun to familiarize myself with digital analytics tools used in the various websites and apps I write for. And I have found that when you add context, numbers can actually be quite enlightening. The fourth question, what makes you unique? What the interviewer really wants to know. And the fourth question, what makes you unique? What the interviewer really wants to know. Interviewers ask this kind of questions to understand what specific skills or qualities make you stand out from the other candidates. Essentially, if you are one of the many candidates with the same qualifications, why should they hire you over them? The examples you share when you respond will highlight what you like about yourself as well as your level of confidence. The employer wants to see evidence of strengths and soft skills you might not have included in your resume or application, but that will help you to do well on the job. Interviewers ask these kinds of questions to determine whether you're a good fit for the job, but this may also be asked to determine if you are compatible with the organization's culture. They're looking not only for indicators that you're qualified to do the work, but also for something above and beyond what the other candidates offer, showing that you'll be a strong addition to the company. Showing that you will be a strong addition to the company. The interviewer will also note how comfortable you appear answering personal questions like this one. This speaks of your ability to think quickly on your feet and to prepare for important conversations at work. So how to answer the question, what makes you unique? Before you work out how you'll answer this question, take some time to research the company and the job. The more you know about the organization goals of the employer, the better equipped you'll be to connect your unique attributes to the job. It can be helpful to think of what's special about you and how those characteristics will enable you to make strong contribution to the organization. One approach that can help you to respond genuinely to this question is mixing personal attributes, experiences, or interests with key professional assets. For example, you might mention that you have an unusual combination of interests like skydiving and coin collecting, while also sharing that you are very attractive to detail. Be careful not to exaggerate your uniqueness or imply that you are the only one with certain qualities. It's better to emphasize that you are exceptional or unusually gifted in certain ways. In some cases, it helps to quote others to maintain a modest approach, as in I have been told that I'm unusually assertive in a diplomatic way. Example answer for the question, what makes you unique? Something that distinguishes me from many other sales people is my ability to connect with clients on a human level from the outset, making them feel comfortable and uncovering all their pressing needs around my product. From there, I can present my product conversationally in light of their needs. I attribute their skill in large part to my gift for small talk to warm up customers, as well as my genuine interest in the sports and news topics of the day. The best answer to these requests are honest, brief, and confidently delivered. Your goal is to share something interesting about yourself that illuminates why you are the best fit for the role. Come prepared with a few things to share and be sure to tie them to the skills and your qualities that are most valuable in this job. In the fifth question, what is your greatest accomplishment? Tips in answering this question are talk about an accomplishment that fit for the company and for the position. Show genuine passion and don't sell yourself short. Example answer, my greatest professional achievement was completing my bachelor's degree in 4 years with a 3.8 general weighted average. I had no financial support from my family and had to work a full-time job while pursuing my economics degree. This taught me to prioritize my time, build great habits, and stay focused on my goals. And the sixth question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tips in answering this question, link your answer to the level of commitment to the position. Describe how you will have contributed to the company. Stress your interest in a long-term career at the company. So, an example answer for this question, you can say in the next 5 years, I hope to be leading a team or department. I've always enjoyed leadership in my career, so growing as a leader is one of my core career goals right now. Your job posting look exciting and mentions some great leadership opportunities. And 7th question, what is your salary expectation? What are you looking for in terms of salary? It seems like a simple question, but your answer can knock you out of the contest for the job if you overprice yourself. If you underprice yourself, you may get shortchanged and a lower offer. Review the best way to answer questions about salary so you get the fair pay that you deserve. While you want to aim high, you also don't want to aim so high that you put yourself out of the company's salary range. If your target compensation is too low, you leave the employer room to go even lower, and you could end up feeling miserable with the lack of proper compensation. It's also difficult to decide what you want for salary before you even know what the job entails. This often happens when you're asked to disclose the salary range requirement on an application before you have learned about the position with any depth. Example answer to the question, what is your salary expectation? You can say, my salary requirements are flexible, but I do have significant experience in the field that I believe adds value to my candidacy. I look forward to discussing in more detail what my responsibilities at this company would be. From there, we can determine a fair salary for the position. And the last question, why should we hire you? Tips in answering this question, when you're getting ready for the interview, take a moment to review the job description, make a list of the requirements for the position, including personality traits, skills, and qualifications. Then, make a list of all the qualities you have that fit those requirements. Show that you are uniquely suited for the job. Show you know some significant details about the company. Tell a success story that highlights how your qualities. Don't be too modest and don't sound too arrogant. This is another good time to review the qualifications and the requirements in the job listing so you can craft a response that aligns with what the interviewer is looking for. Example answer. You describe in the job listing that you're looking for a special education assistant teacher with an abundance of patience and compassion. Having served as a tutor at a summer school for dyslexic. Example answer. You describe in the job listing that you're looking for a special education assistant teacher with an abundance of patience and compassion. Having served as a tutor at a summer school for dyslexic children for the past 2 years, I have developed my ability to be extremely patient while still achieving academic gains with my students. My experience teaching phonics to children aged 6 to 18 has taught me strategies for working with children of all ages and abilities, always with a smile. So those are the common job interview questions.